Hi everyone, another nice simple little project for you here. We're going to be making some, well, I think they're going to be key rings because they're so big, but maybe these could be pendants, so we'll make some of these as well. We'll be using UV resin, and we will be using some of the leaves from my bonsais again because people have been asking about these so much. So let's get in and use some of those again. So really easy project. All you're going to need is your UV resin. I'm using the Apex one. Links for everything will be below, of course. I've got my little UV lamp. I've got several on the go. This is just the one I'm using at the moment. They're all good. It's very cheap moulds I got from somewhere, can't remember. I will find you the link. And some jewellery tools just for popping likely keychains like I did with this little chap here onto them. So there we go. First trick then is going to, I want to do these a bit different. Normally I put clear resin when I'm using ultraviolet curing resin, but lately I've been having a bit of a try with using different colours. Now behind these leaves are so pretty. I think I'm just going to want white. So I am pouring, sorry you're off screen here, aren't you? I'm pouring quite a bit of my UV resin into the pot, and I'm going to tint it just plain white. The dyes for the resin that I'm using are from Just For You online as well, and this one is called Pristine White, and it's a resin dye. I'm putting 3 drops because I want it to be quite opaque, and I'm going to stir it up just with a little cocktail stick in my little pot. There we go. It doesn't need much to make this quite opaque. I'm not worried too much if it's still a little bit streaky. That might just sort of add to the effect. Now of course you could use an eco pour resin or a polyester resin, those dry white as well. Yeah, there's a multitude of things you could use for this, but I did want to just use this UV resin because it's just so quick and easy to use. Mind you, most of those other things I mentioned are too. But I am currently in the experimenting with it phase. So this small one, let's have this small one here. It is upside down, as you can see. Just going to put a good blob of it in there, and maybe this medium size one as well. I'm going to do something a little bit different with the big one. I'm going to mix some sparkly powder in with it, I think. But for these two, I've just gone in with the white. Now, if you're going to do something like this and you end up pushing the resin around, you're probably better to be pushing it around with something like a micro brush or a rubber-ended brush rather than your cocktail stick, because toothpick or whatever you want to call it, I am running the risk of scratching the mould. And of course, once you've scratched a mould, it's scratched. That's going to replicate into everything you do thereafter. But it just happens to be what I got to hand, so I was just being very careful with it. Now I'm going to cure that up. Now of course, because I've put UV resin in there and that is pretty much opaque, I've done it quite thick, this will take a little bit longer to cure. Now if you put too much, it won't cure at all, so you have to be a little bit careful. It's also a really hot day here in England. We're in the middle of a heat wave still, so I'm going to need to let this cool down a little bit after I've done this stage. I'm not going to let that fully cure incidentally for this first stage because I want to be able to stick the leaves. But let's get this one done as well. Now I've got a bit of resin left in here because I did put quite a lot in my pot. Goodness me, I'm getting through this UV resin rather. It's lovely stuff. Quite impressed. Now I'm going to put in with that something sparkly and shimmery, I think. So yeah, with that one, I'm just putting a bit of sparkle in. Just put a little bit there, and as you can see, it's all gone crazy. It's going mad on the surface. So I'm just going to stir that up. There is a lot of white in there. I'm going for kind of a shimmery white, almost like a greenish version of an opal effect. So it's only a little bit of the shimmer. Right, just going to pour that in there. And again, I'll be taking that all over the base and giving it a little bit of a cure up. I'll put you the links as always for everything below. The leaves, if anybody wants them, they really are bonsai maple leaves. My little bonsai that these, well, there's two of them that these come off. One's about, what must it be now? Got to be a good 30 odd years old. The other one's a little bit younger, but not much. They only produce so many leaves that well, no, they produce a lot of leaves, but if I'm to stock a shop with them, they will go down rather quickly. So I can only do so many at a time. It doesn't harm the little tree. In fact, the way you get bonsais to produce smaller and smaller leaves is by keep leaf pruning them. So don't worry, little tree won't be harmed, but I will get these in my shop, but you will have to bear with me. They only grow so fast and I've only got 2 of these bonsais. So if they're out of stock, it could be like and of course I've got to dry and press them. So it could be a good couple of months before they're back in stock. And of course over winter, once I've run out of the ones I've dried, there won't be any until the following sort of, where are we? Probably the following May actually. Okay, so they should have all gone quite sticky by now. So what I'm going to be doing is just getting my scissors and trimming off the leaves that we want to use. Now these are they're probably less than 1/4 the size of a regular Japanese bonsai leaves. Let's drop them on the top of here. And some of them are even smaller. As you can see when I get down into this, these ones at the end, there's a couple of really tiny ones there. Let's have those. In fact, they've only got 3. They're so tiny, they've only really got 3 of the little points. The bottom point's barely there. So they're tiny. These are quite small at this end as well. So yeah, we've got some different sizes on this little branch. Right then, let's decide where we're going to put them. Now of course they are not necessarily going to fit in their entirety. Oh, that one does. I'm surprised. I thought I might have to trim the tips off a little bit. Still might, just a little. Actually fits, doesn't it? So these little tiddlers, let's put them at the top of this one. The other ones I'll pop back in my box because I don't want to overdo these really. I kind of want to let the leaf speak for itself. It's just reminded me of a song, a terrible old film years ago. I was raised on kind of Clint Eastwood films and things like that. Anybody remember Paint Your Wagon? Clint Eastwood singing I Talk to the Trees. Right, I'm going to see if I can get these to settle, because I'm just going in with clear. Quick word about the resins, the resin I'm using and the dyes and the sparkle. Just for you online, no, they don't sponsor me. I've just discovered their products recently, really liking using them, and they very kindly sent me a load to test. So trust me, I will tell you if it's rubbish, and it's not. It's really good stuff. There's some wonderful new resin products out at the moment, so I hope just for you online, persevere and keep expanding their range. They've got quite a range already. Because I've been using their epoxy for a little while too before they sent me this to try. I was actually just buying that. It's good stuff. But also their business model's nice. They are trying to make their products as eco-friendly as possible, as safe as possible, and also they're trying to offset their carbon footprint. So their sales also generate tree planting to, offset the carbon footprint of the deliveries. They use recycled stuff as well. It's recycled packaging, recyclable packaging as well, so on and so forth. Now I'm just trying to push these down so they'll stay under the resin, because they seem to keep wanting to come up at the edges, and I don't want them to. Now this one I should have trimmed it a little bit, that little tiny one there, to make those ends fit in, but never mind, I can sand them off afterwards. Oh, I think it's going. I think it's going. Okay, let's get the torch on it. Now don't go using alcohol spray with ultraviolet curing resin, because it don't work. And also, if you're trying to dome it off with it, the reason alcohol spray works is that it breaks the surface tension. Well, if you're doming, you need that surface tension, don't you? Because that's what makes it dome. So don't use alcohol spray. You could use a stronger torch than I've done here, but you are risking damaging your mould. Now what I've done is I've just given that a quick zap. Now let's give it a bit more, because I want to make this start to cure but not completely, because I'm just going to poke these leaves a bit more. So I'll make them stay under. That's starting to go. There we go. I mean, I probably will dome these off afterwards anyway, to be honest, but if I can get the leaf tips under to start with, that would be better. Okay, those should have cured, and yes, they have. Oh, little sticky on the back actually, so what I'm going to do is what I forgot to do. I'm going to put it back in the mould first. I'm going to zap them from the back as well. Right, let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Very nice. I rather like those. They're nice and kind of minimalist. Right, I'm going to let these cool down. As I keep saying, it's really hot here in England at the moment. And yeah, it's things are taking ages to cool off. Of course, UV curing resin does take a long time to cool down. It gets very, very hot when it's as hot as this in the room as well. So I'm going to let that cool off. Let's see how they are. Wasn't that sweet? Now you could get a silver pen and go around the edges and things like that. You could do all that sort of little finishing touches, but I rather like them as they are. So what I'm going to do is get some keychains and pop on those. The two bigger ones, yeah, that one will be a keychain. I think I'm just going to put bails on these so they can be pendants. So I've got a big bag of these keychain parts. Again, I think it was Amazon. Links for everything below as always. So I'm going to put one of these on here. Just got my jewellery tools. These actually come with the jump ring on the end ready for us. So twist to open it. You see that? It's twisted. Oops. Actually, let's pop it through the hole first and put it back on the chain afterwards. And I can see that I've actually managed to close the hole up with the resin. Not too surprised. So I'm just going to go through with my little drill. There we go, I've got a neat little hole. Make sure these two have got the hole still. Yep, that one has. And this one hasn't, so let's pop him back. There we are. turn my little drill off. If anybody wants one of these little cordless drills, by the way, I find it very good. I'll find you the link for that as well. Okay, so the keyring just goes on like so. Pop our little chain onto it. Twist the loop back into position. Oops. Oh, fiddle faddle fingers. There we go. So as you can see, we haven't distorted our loop when we opened it because we twisted it. And there we go, a rather lovely keychain. These two, like I said, I'm going to put little bails on them. Bails are little clips that you use to attach them onto necklaces and things like that. But I mean, you can use them to attach to anything really. These all seem to be all tangled up. These are pinch bails because you open them up and you pinch them. It really couldn't be any easier, could it? Then you just, if you're putting it on a necklace, just pop your chain through the loop. Done. So easy. Sorry about the state of my thumb, by the way. I really hurt it the other day. Crafting is dangerous, you know. There we are. So, little bonsai leaves in things. Aren't they pretty? I'm quite pleased with those. Thanks all for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, please give me a thumbs up. And thank you ever so much to all those of you who have been supporting my channel, sending me super thanks, buying me coffees, and all those sort of things. You are enabling me to buy more materials so that I can actually go ahead and keep these videos going. You imagine there's quite a lot of cost involved, so every little bit of support means an enormous amount to a small YouTube channel like me. So thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you for the next video. If you like this one, have a look up in this corner because there'll be links for more to do with jewellery and little leaves and all that sort of thing for you. See you again then, folks. Bye.